Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're here to help you turn that stack of information into knowledge that, well, actually sticks.
That's the goal.
And today, we're tackling something I think we've all seen. Why do some ideas just fizzle out, even great ones?
While others, maybe not even as strong, just take off.
Exactly. So our mission today, based on the research you brought in, it really zeroes in on one question. Is it a bad idea, or is it just bad delivery when a message fails?
And the analysis points pretty strongly towards delivery. Weak presentation seems to be the culprit most of the time.
Okay, that's huge, though, because we usually blame the idea, don't we?
We do. But these studies suggest the actual impact, the value people see in a message, it comes down to how vividly it's presented, how much sensory engagement it creates.
So not just telling someone something.
Right. It's about making them feel it almost, moving from just communicating to really captivating.
Okay, let's unpack that. Because if presentation really dictates how people perceive reality, well, that changes how we should approach almost everything.
Business, communication, even just talking to your family, yeah.
So let's explore this, how turning something abstract into, I don't know, a concrete thing changes the game.
Yeah, let's do it.
So the basic idea is the fact, the truth, it stays the same. But how you show it, that completely flips the perception.
Exactly.
And you shared this amazing story about a Philadelphia newspaper that perfectly illustrates this.
Oh, right. Yeah, this paper, it was really struggling, not because the journalism was bad, necessarily.
But because people thought it was bad.
Exactly. There was this rumor, this feeling that it was just thin, boring, mostly ads, not much real news. It had a perception problem.
An abstract problem, a feeling people had.
Precisely. And the key is what they didn't do. They didn't write an angry editorial saying, no, you're wrong, we have lots of great content.
Because that would just be more words, right? More abstract stuff trying to fight an abstract feeling.
Exactly. Fighting fire with, well, more paper. Instead, they did something physical, radical, really.
Okay, what did they do?
They took every single news story, every article, everything that wasn't an ad from one single day's paper, and they printed it all together. Not as a newspaper, they bound it as a book.
A book? How big?
Over 300 pages thick from one day's news content.
Wow. Okay, that's not abstract.
Not at all. Imagine seeing that, holding it, the sheer weight of the information from one day. It physically demolished the rumor.
They didn't have to argue anymore. The book did the talking.
It did. It turned this vague idea of daily news into this solid, undeniable object. People could see the volume of information they were getting.
So the key takeaway there is make it tangible. Make it something people can experience.
Experience, yes. And that taps right into how our brains work, the psychology behind it. We react differently to abstract words versus concrete sensory input.
Right. Why is that? Why are abstract words weaker, I guess?
Well, think about it. Abstract concepts, percentages, stats, big philosophical ideas, they take effort. Your brain has to actively process them, build a model.
Okay, mental work.
Yeah, and we're kind of lazy, cognitively speaking. We prefer the easy route. Abstract stuff is high effort, so the reaction is weaker.
But concrete things.
Images, sounds, things you can touch or see, they hit our senses directly. They bypass some of that heavy thinking, go straight for the emotional, faster processing parts of the brain.
So they stick better, make a bigger impact faster.
Much bigger, much faster.
Yeah.
Which brings us to that NCR salesman example. Brilliant stuff.
Right, the cash register guy. He wasn't just selling a machine.
No, he was selling, or trying to sell, the idea of stopping loss, financial leakage. Very abstract, right? Especially to a shop owner who maybe didn't trust the numbers.
Just saying you're losing X% wasn't working.
Exactly. It's just noise, an abstract number. The salesman needed to make that percentage real, visceral.
So what did you do? No charts, I bet.
No charts. He apparently reached into his pocket, grabbed a handful of coins representing that abstract daily loss.
Okay.
And just dropped them loudly, clattering all over the shop floor.
Oh, wow. The sound.
The sound, the sight of actual money scattering on the floor. It's a shock, an immediate, concrete experience of loss.
And then he tied it together.
Yeah, it's saying something like, every time a customer walks by and you don't ring it up properly, that's what's happening. You're dropping money.
Okay, that's powerful. The difference between a number on a page and hearing coins hit the floor, it's night and day.
It grabs your attention in a way words alone just can't.
But hang on, let me push back a bit here. This focus on the presentation, the shock value, the dropped coins, Doesn't that risk becoming manipulation?
That's a really important question.
Like the marriage proposal analogy you mentioned, kneeling isn't required by law, it just creates an atmosphere.
Yeah.
Is that genuine, or is it manufacturing emotion to get a yes?
It's a fine line, but I think the distinction is crucial. Manipulation aims to distort the truth or hide something. Vivid presentation, when done right, aims to make the actual truth undeniable, especially when indifference or abstraction is obscuring it.
Okay. How so?
Think about the kneeling. If the love and commitment are real, kneeling isn't faking emotion. It's using a recognized, concrete ritual to signal the seriousness and depth of that real emotion. It elevates the moment so the conscious mind has to acknowledge its importance.
So it's an amplifier for something that's already true. Like the cash register, the loss was real. The coins just made it impossible to ignore.
Precisely. If the underlying idea is sound, the register does save money, the proposal is sincere, then the vividness isn't trickery. It's like a lens focusing the light, making the truth clear and felt.
Got it. So the goal isn't deception, it's effective transfer. Making the idea land not just in the brain, but in the senses, the gut.
Exactly. Making it an image, a sound, a feeling, an experience.
Okay, so this isn't just about sales or newspapers. This principle should work everywhere, right? Like in education or just getting your kids to cooperate.
Absolutely. It's a universal psychological rule.
Yeah.
And the research had that great little story about the father trying to get his child to clean up toys.
Ah, yes. The classic battle. The abstract command. Clean your room.
Right. Which, to a kid, just feels like an order, an obligation. Stop fun, start chore. It's a push.
And kids naturally resist being pushed.
Don't we all? So the father, instead of just repeating the command, he changed the whole frame. He didn't just give an order.
He made it.
Concrete.
He made it a game. A vivid role play. He apparently said something like, "Quick, the coal train needs fuel. These toys are the coal. We gotta load the engine before it leaves."
Okay. So the toys become coal. The toy box is the engine.
Exactly. Suddenly, it's not a chore anymore. It's a mission, an adventure. He replaced the external push of duty with the internal pull of play and imagination.
And the task itself, picking up toys, didn't change.
Nope. But the feeling around it, the motivation, completely transformed. The child wasn't obeying. They were playing the game the father created.
And the room got cleaned.
Presumably, yes.
Yeah.
While the child was having fun, that's the power of transforming an abstract obligation into a concrete experience. Okay, that's a brilliant example. So if we boil all this down, based on these stories and the psychology, what are the rules? How do we actually do this effectively?
Right, let's get practical. We can pull out, I think, 3 core rules for mastering this art of presentation, making sure your idea doesn't just get heard, but gets felt.
Rule number 1.
Rule 1 is about respecting the audience's senses and time. Think about a fancy meal. Why does presentation, the plating, matter so much?
Because it looks good, sets the mood.
Yes, but it also signals care, respect for the diner. It sets an expectation of quality. If your message, your report, your email, how you speak, looks or sounds sloppy, rushed, like that boring newspaper.
You're signaling it's not important, and you don't respect the other person's time.
Exactly. Mastery means treating every communication with care, right from the first impression. Make it visually appealing, clear, easy to grasp. Signal its value up front.
Okay, respect through presentation. Got it. Rule 2.
Rule 2. Always translate abstract data into concrete imagery or sensory metaphors. Don't just throw numbers or jargon at people.
Like the newspaper turning lots of news into a physical 300-page book.
Perfect example. Or the salesman turning 1% loss into the sound of falling coins. If you're talking climate change, don't just list CO2 parts per million. Talk about blankets trapping heat or show a visual of rising water levels.
Make it a picture. Make it a sound. Make it something they can almost taste or touch.
Because that's what the brain latches onto and remembers. Pictures, sounds, physical metaphors stick way better than abstract stats.
Makes sense. And the third rule. This feels like the one that makes it truly last.
I think so. Rule 3 is, anchor the message to deep emotion and shared experience. A message really only drives lasting change when it connects emotionally.
The kneeling proposal creating that emotional bookmark.
Yes. Or the coal train turning a chore into joy. If your message doesn't spark some feeling, curiosity, urgency, hope, even a little anxiety, maybe excitement, it's likely going to be forgotten almost instantly.
Even if it's logically sound.
Even then, logic convinces, but emotion motivates. Intellectual understanding is great, but it's often fleeting. Emotional connection is what really embeds an idea.
Wow. Okay, so Respect the senses, translate data into experience, and anchor it to emotion.
That's the core of it.
So putting this all together for you listening, what it really means is if you genuinely want to make an impact, if you want your idea to land and stick, you can't just talk at people hoping they understand.
No, you have to be more like a director.
Yeah. You have to consciously design the communication. You have to make them see it, hear it, feel it. You're basically transferring your reality, your understanding, into theirs through experience.
And that actually brings up a fascinating point about what intelligence or maybe influence really is.
Yeah.
It suggests that real power isn't just knowing the right answer or the best path.
It's more than just being correct.
Yeah. It's about mastering the how. How do you take that correctness, that truth, and make other people not just nod along intellectually, but truly touch it, feel its weight, its reality with their senses and emotions?
That's a really profound way to think about communication. It's not just about clarity, it's about resonance, making the truth resonate physically and emotionally.
Exactly. That's when ideas gain real traction.
Well, this has been incredibly insightful. Ideas only truly catch fire when they're presented vividly, when they wake up our senses and emotions. That really wraps up our deep dive today into presentation mastery, drawing from these compelling sources.
It's powerful stuff to consider.
Thank you for joining us as we explored this. Hopefully, you've got some tools now to make sure your important messages land with impact, becoming undeniable experiences rather than just, more noise.
And maybe something to chew on this week. Think about that boring newspaper analogy. Is there a powerful, true idea you're currently sharing in a flat, abstract way?
Mm-hmm.
How could you transform it? How could you make it that stunning 300-page book experience that grabs attention and makes belief almost inevitable? Go find that vividness.